Practice makes perfect. Here are some of our favorite drills. It's important to know exactly where you're at.
You wouldn't start a diet without first weighing yourself to see where you began. We like to do drills that have a measurable outcome or a benchmark so that when you practice them and look back at your score, you can see if you've improved.
It's no fun to shoot the same shot over and over again, and it's very frustrating if you keep missing it over and over again. But those are the important shots that we need to work on.
Here's a few of our favorite drills. Let's get started.
Here's one I like to work on. My coach gave me this one. It's a 6-ball exercise, and you shoot it in rotation, going back and forth across tables, starting with the outside balls. These 3 balls go into this pocket, and these 3 balls go into this pocket. Start with ball in hand, and you'll notice, or you'll learn, that you'll need to make sure that you have enough angle on each shot to get back and forth between the shots. You'll need to make sure you give yourself enough angle to come off the long rail on each shot. No cheating.
Everybody, this is...
So as you'll notice, the most ideal place to be is in the middle of the table. In the middle of the table, you generally have enough angle for each of these shots to bounce off the long rail to get back to the middle of the table again for the next shot on the other side. Have fun.
Our next drill is what we call a progressive drill. We start this drill by throwing 3 balls out in random. Just let them rumble around and settle, and then start with ball in hand and run these in rotation, 7, 8, 9. If you do this successfully, then you go to 4 balls, add the 6th ball, throw them out randomly and run them. If you do that successfully, go to 5 balls, but if you miss, take a step back and do 3 again. All right, I made my 3, so now I'll go to 4. See if you can get all the way up to 9.
This is my most favorite drill. You can do this with as many balls as you'd like. I'm going to show with 10 balls today. And it's essentially running off all the balls on the table in no particular order, keeping the cue ball from touching a rail. So combos are allowed, banks are allowed, but all you have to do is make sure you don't let the cue ball contact a rail. Got it?
Boost them on to 3rd, show up 4th.
So start with ball in hand and make sure you go around the table and get behind the shot you're playing position for. Don't get careless on this exercise or you'll pay for it. Have fun.
Frozen balls stuck on rails are one of the toughest shots in pool for many players. Here's an exercise from the playing ability test in Germany, the PAT test. Start with 6 balls, each frozen on the diamonds down here, leaving this one empty, and try to run them out. Now, if you run into any balls, that's the end. They don't count. Do that exercise 3 times, total up your ball count, and that's your score for that test. Shooting a frozen ball shot is touchy. You've got to make a very accurate hit on that ball so that it runs along the rail in pockets. If you hit it just a little bit off, it'll bounce off this long rail and you'll miss it like that. Remember, practice makes perfect, and if you work hard on those practice drills, it'll pay off at game time. How about a game, Sam?
You're on. Thanks for joining us.
Simona's cloth, authentic, accurate, always.